name is Ann Hansford, and currently, at this moment, I am the archivist for the San Pedro Bay Historical Society Archives. This room is called the Annex, and in it we have a wide variety of items. Over here are the shelves that hold basically the original copies of the San Pedro News Pilot up into the 40s. As can be seen by looking at them, if you touch them, they're going to disintegrate. Fortunately, we have the paper and microfilm. We use the space for other things too. These are bricks from what used to be what is now called the redevelopment area. The table there is a collection of rolled drawings, and they are a wide variety of subjects. Sewers, streets, street poles, a wide variety. The boxes standing on end, at that end and on this end of this table, are large pictures that we do not have any room for here, but someday we will have a museum and have them to be displayed there. I'm acquisitioning a collection of snapshots of the 1939 San Pedro High School baseball players. We've got a whole lot more in there. Mr. Demanasich was a collector, and this is just part of his collection. He's the one who wrote the book on the history book of San Pedro High School football. This town is very much sports oriented. Very much. The acquisition is not done on the basis of somebody's research. It's the basis of what has been given to us, so that we identify it, give it a number, and in the book, pages I'm writing now, you indicate where you're going to put that item. Newspaper clippings, what subject area, and not newspaper clippings, because we don't acquisition newspaper clippings. But we do it for everything else, documents, pamphlets, realia, ephemeria, all those things. Well, there's always something to do, for one thing. There's also, it's a pleasure to be able to present resources to people who are looking for something. This challenge is to find out what they want. People often have not pinpointed down what they're really looking for. They have a vague idea. And they'll start off with a grand subject of the Port of Los Angeles, or the role of the women in the Port of Los Angeles in the 1940s during the war. Well, that's a little big a subject, and you've got to really be prepared for a lot of work if you're going to do that, and you have to know what you're looking for. And often when you sift through what they're saying to you, because you don't dare lead them astray, you find that what they really had was something much more pinpointed down, but they hadn't articulated it to themselves yet. We moved here when I was in the 9th grade for the same reason that a lot of people came to San Pedro. Somebody in the family was already living here. My mother had a job in the harbor area, which required her driving down. It was shift work and at various hours, and we were living in LA at the time. She got tired of the fog. It used to be very bad. And after one night, at 2 o'clock in the morning, driving with her head out the window, she decided, that's it. We're moving to San Pedro. It'll be a whole lot closer. Oh, it was the longest time we had ever lived in any one spot, because we were here the 1 year of middle school and the 3 years of high school, and so I really liked that. You were here. As a matter of fact, my mother lived here the rest of her life. My father was a Canadian. He died when I was 5. It wasn't until a few years ago I found out anything about his family. My mother's father was also a Canadian, and we have been unable to find out any information about his family. So we're back to my mother's maternal line, which extends clear back into New England in the 1620s. Her maternal grandmother, though, was an Englishwoman, a Victorian Englishwoman, to the day she died. We have a picture of her in 1941 wearing a black dress full length to the floor. That was her normal. She living in Arizona, no air conditioning. She wasn't. She was hot, and that was a big problem. If it was a weekday, it was cotton. If it was Sunday, it was silk. And so that's the background. And I was around her daughters a lot. I absorbed a lot from them, from the great aunts, who were an interesting assortment. I worked here in the school system. After my children were in school, I went to work, and I worked first at San Pedro High School in the attendance office, which is a lively place to work. And then I promoted to the area office and then came back and worked for 15 years at 15th Street School as the office manager. And that was fun because of the people you work with and the children. It's always fun being around the children.